Place is going to have the biggest crowd that they've had there since really the 1994 Grey Cup, and sitting there live right now. Good morning, Glenn Suter. How you doing today?
Good morning,
I'm
Dave.
here.
They turned on the lights for us
That's
here
good.
early, and yeah, they are expecting.
A little more, Mike. Yeah, can you hear me?
We're having some audio difficulties there. Can we hear Glenn? We can hear Glenn loud and clear? Okay, Glenn, let's talk about the atmosphere and what you see in this matchup today.
Well, first of all, let's talk about that crowd, over 50,000, and they're estimating that 10 to 15,000 of the 50-plus will be wearing green and white and cheering for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That still leaves about 35,000 to 40,000 BC Lions fans. Now, that would mean to me that the Riders probably have to get out to an early jump in this game. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have a very different offensive philosophy than the BC Lions. Both have huge weapons. Look at the aerial attack for the BC Lions, led by G. Roy Simon and KC Printers. That's their strength. For the Saskatchewan Roughriders, it's Kenton Keith, the running game, and the play action. Jock, they need to take the crowd out early with a bit of a lead so that plays into their strength, which is Kenton Keith.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's my key to the game. I think Kenton Keith is what it's all about for these Saskatchewan Roughriders. And, you know, last week in Edmonton, he obviously was not Kenton Keith that you normally see because of the field conditions. He had 97 yards, but he got a third of that largely on one big run in the fourth quarter where he had 34 yards. And that just wasn't his type of game with these field conditions. He is a slashing, cutback type of runner, and he is going to be well-suited to be playing in BC Place. And here's the big run I was talking about where he got a big chunk of his yardage. Now, BC is tops against the run in the league at 75 yards per game. Meanwhile, Saskatchewan is tops in the league rushing the ball 139 yards a game. Therefore, something has to give, and if Saskatchewan can get Kenton Keith going, I think they're going to win.
Well, Jock, my key for the BC Lions is a running back, but Antonio Warren and Lyle Green, they have to have a great game without the football, because last Sunday, Mike Pringle had an exceptional day in terms of blitz pickup. He physically took on the Rough Rider linebackers and won the vast majority of the battles. So now Antonio Warren, when he's in that single back set, if he is the guy, he has to identify the big threat, and he has to take him right on the line of scrimmage and dominate those linebackers physically, because you know that right now Saskatchewan will try to contain KC Printers. So it's Lyle Green or Antonio Warren that has to keep the integrity of the pocket so KC Printers can maneuver around and go through all those progressions. 1, 2, 3, then he can find his receivers.
Yeah, we know Saskatchewan likes to come after the quarterback, tied for first in the league with 49 sacks, while BC gave up the second most with 54 of them. Time for a break on CFL Countdown, and when we come back, we'll focus in on the Eastern matchup, Montreal and Toronto.
Mom?
Yeah, this is TSN!
Shotgun snap. Allen into the end zone. Looks for Bruce. He's got it. Touchdown. Arlen Bruce. And now McManus looks for Gilliam, and he is separated from the ball. And the stout Argo defense urging their faithful to make noise. And McManus swamped back at the 33-yard line. And McManus trying to push it over in a hurry. Looks to the end zone. Picked off. It's over now. Kenny Wheaton's got it. Kenny Wheaton's still going. Kenny Wheaton's gone. Booked the trip to Montreal. Touchdown, Toronto.
A dominant win for the Argonauts over Hamilton last week in the semifinal has them in the Eastern final, and here is the bottom line on Montreal against Toronto recently. The Alouettes were a perfect 3-0 against the Argos during the regular season. They have beaten them in each of the last 2 Eastern finals, and Toronto hasn't won in Montreal since November 2000. So, the Argos are either due or they're in big trouble. And the consensus seems to be that the Argos will have disappointment again unless they can somehow get that offense going. With the very latest, here's Michael Whalen.
The key for the Toronto Argonauts on Sunday is to get to Anthony Calvillo. The Argos had some success in that area early in the season when they managed to sack the Montreal QB 7 times in 2 games.
Anthony Calvillo touches the ball every single play, except maybe a couple when they do a direct snap to their tailback. So he's their leader, and he's the guy. Ultimately, if you want to stop them, you have to have to go through him.
We're running basically what we've been running, and for us it's just a matter of getting there. So whoever's coming and whoever's has to beat the guy in front of them.
So the Owls know that the pressure is coming. However, the bottom line is that Montreal won all 3 of their matchups against the Argos during the regular season, plus the last 2 East Division finals.
We all have to work as a unit. You know, I got to make sure that I'm not calling all these passes where I'm holding the ball for a long time. I got to get some quick stuff. I got to mix in the run game. So, and then also move the protection as well. So there's a lot of things that I could do to help them out.
All too often, a big game like this comes down to special teams, particularly the field goal kickers. However, both teams saw their kickers on the sidelines near the end of the season with various ailments. Noel Prefontaine, based on his performance last week against Hamilton, appears fully recovered from his hip injury. And the Owls' Matt Kellett, plagued by a mysterious eye infection that now has him wearing special glasses, also seems ready to compete.
No, I feel very comfortable with my glasses. You know, it's probably not the safest thing, but as long as I do my job, I shouldn't have to make any tackles.
If I have a bad performance tomorrow, it's going to be more of a mental thing than a physical thing. I feel pretty healthy, so I'm just ready to get after it.
They're expecting 50,000 fans or more for Sunday night's game, which, after paying for expenses and the rights to the game, should put at least $2 million in the Alouette coffers. And by the way, it's only the second time since 1979 that they've had back-to-back games here at the Olympic Stadium with 50,000 or more fans. Michael Whalen, TSN in Montreal.
Thanks a lot, Michael. You know, Toronto was one of 3 teams in the CFL this season that averaged less than 20 points per game on offense. The other 2 were Ottawa and Calgary, and as we know, they finished dead last in their respective divisions. Let's take you to Montreal right now. There's Leif Pedersen standing by live. It's all about Toronto getting that offense going a little bit more to help their defense, right, Leif?
Well, I think you're right, Dave. You know, I don't think there's an expert in the country that wouldn't agree that for Toronto to win this game tonight, they have to have better offensive production. So the key is, how do they get it? Well, I think you fight fire with fire. Montreal wants to rush 5, 6, 7 people. If I'm Toronto, I come out in a 6-receiver set. They have the receivers to do it. And I play Arlen Bruce at number 3 on one side, and I play either Tony Miles or John Avery at number 3 on the other side. Now, you can clear out, you can run drags underneath, or you can run crossing patterns, make the Montreal defensive backs chase. And you know, you need a smart quarterback to read it and deliver the football. They're easy passes to complete, and certainly Damon Allen is up to that challenge. And you know what else? If they want to pressure, if there's a seam, Damon Allen will have lots of room to run downfield. But, Jock, I know you love my plan, but there is one other aspect of the Toronto offense that has to click today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you said it exactly right, Leaf. It's all about how Toronto figures out how to score more than their season average 19 points, because as good as their defense is, they're not going to hold Cavill to under 20, 25 points. So how does that offense score points? Well, I think it starts on first down. Toronto has to have more success on first down than they've been having historically this season. And the reason why, well, 2 reasons. First of all, if you're in second and long against the Alouettes in the Big O, you're going to get 2 things happening. First of all, you're going to get blitz, which puts huge amounts of pressure on every member of that offensive unit. Second of all, you're going to get crowd noise on second and long. So you need to have success on first down, and the way you do that is you use John Avery. You use him running the football with success, and you use him throwing the ball in the flats underneath, make positive yards, 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, Chris.
And for the Montreal Alouettes, I think it all comes down to Anthony Calvillo and how he handles what Toronto does defensively. Toronto has 2 choices. Either be very passive and force Calvillo to put a high number of first downs together to get points, or come after him. And I think of the 2, I think Toronto will be immensely aggressive, pick their spots, but try to get to Anthony Calvillo, because he is like any other quarterback. If you force him to throw when he is not ready, when his footwork is not set, there's an opportunity for the turnover. Remember, Toronto's defensive backs do a wonderful job of breaking on the football. And having said that, the best way to break on a football is after an inaccurate pass, Dave. Go after Anthony Calvillo. If he responds, Montreal wins.
Anthony Calvillo today trying to lead the Alouettes to their 3rd straight Grey Cup. That's something that has not been done since the mid-'80s. Remember the Hamilton Tiger Cats did it in '84 and '85 and '86, and you can catch it tonight. The CFL on CBC. David Allen and the Argos taking on the Alouettes. Coming up after the break, Glenn Suter sits down with one of the big offensive weapons in the West Final, Saskatchewan Roughriders running back Kenton Keith, when CFL Countdown returns.
Second and 12, Saskatchewan. shotgun, handing off to Kenton Keith. He's got a huge hole, and it's a foot race to the end zone. Kenton Keith on the first play on offense to the end zone. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
Here comes the rush. He gets it away. Catch made again by Kenton Keith. Look out. There he goes. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. How about that? Keith. Left side. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a move. What a move.
Kenton Keith gets a crack. Now it's a foot race. Keith, full speed, cuts inside now ball to the end zone. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
Welcome back to CFL Countdown. For the third straight season, the Saskatchewan Roughriders had the top running game in the entire league, and that guy right there, Kenton Keith, has been a major factor over the last 2 seasons, and he will be a major factor today as well in the West Division Final. Let's take you back out to Vancouver, where Glenn is standing by. Glenn, this guy, maybe more than any other player on the field today in BC Place, is a marked man.
Dave certainly is. Marked man because the BC Lion linebacking core has been reminded all week long that Kenton Keith did not play 2 weeks ago in that last game of the regular season between the Lions and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They want to prove to everybody that that did not matter. They won that game. Kenton Keith, in 3 playoff games as a Saskatchewan Roughrider, averages 7.3 yards per carry. That would indicate that it just may make a difference in this playoff game this afternoon. Bottom line here is, for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, they made it to the final last year. They want to take the next step. Yesterday when I sat down with Kenton Keith, that's where our conversation began.
Let's start with the fact that this team is on a roll and back to the West Final. And do you get the feeling that this is some unfinished business for you guys?
Yeah, we were kind of disappointed last year at this time. I think this was probably our last game last year. So Coach told us today this is like last year was our dress rehearsal for this. So everybody's kind of amped up for that. We just know what we got to do, man. Everybody feel like we got a lot of unfinished business, and we got some veterans on the team that we need to get a ring for. So that's what we concentrating on, man. Going one game, getting through BC, and ending up in Ottawa, man. Whatever it takes.
How much can you feed off the momentum from a big win on the road where people said, you guys can't win in Commonwealth, and you went and did it? How much can you feed off that?
I feed off that a lot, man. I mean, going to Commonwealth kind of felt like a home game because we had so many fans out there. I'm pretty sure they're going to follow us up here, too. So, I mean, we got, like, a whole lot of support coming from Saskatchewan. So it feels like every game is a home game sometimes, man. So we go in there, everybody's so amped up. It's like the crowd doesn't even matter, even if their side is louder.
I was going to ask you about that because this is your second year with Saskatchewan, but do you get the sense of how important a win in this game would be to the province of Saskatchewan?
Yes, because ever since I've been there, it's been like everybody. It seemed like at first when I got there, the city was kind of used to losing, and once everything started changing around, you know, we started drawing more people back. Last year, I really thought it was going to be the year for us. We fell short, but you just know, you felt the energy the next year when you came back, how much people thought we were going to be good this year. And now that, you know, we had our slow start, we was 4-8, but now that we didn't came back, it's like, to beat us, you got to beat the whole city now. Everybody's do or die for us right now. So, and it feels good, man. It feels like it gives you something to play for out there.
From the outside looking in, fans, I think, look at you and think you're a quiet sort of guy, quiet personality. But there's another side to you. Now, there's been some talking going on. Roy's called out Carl Kidd, and some things are happening. Some stuff happened before the game. How do you feel about that trash talking? And do you do it? Do you like to do it? Would you do it in this game?
In the game, you're going to see a whole different Kenton Keith. I mean, I do a lot of talking in the game, but in the media, I wish I could, but I can't, so I kind of tame myself. So, I mean, I take all that stuff that people say, you know, I take it as food. I eat it up and just use it for when it's time for the battle. I mean, he said a lot of things which aren't even in his character this year. I mean, but, you know we're not going to listen to Carl Kidd this week, so we're just going to, you know, we're going to look past him and just handle him on the field.
Yeah. What's going to happen in this game? What kind of game are we going to see?
You're going to see a real emotional, energetic Saskatchewan Roughrider team playing against a team that's trying to find themselves, I think. I mean, all this talking, all this talking that they're doing kind of makes me seem like that they are scared or something. I mean, people don't really just start talking like that for no reason. So, I mean, they got a lucky win on us last week, and everybody that watched the game knows that last touchdown could have went to the house. It was just a little mix-up right there, but we didn't have everybody that we got this week, and we didn't have the game plan that we got this week. So I hope they had a good week of practice, because we did.
Good job, buddy. Good luck.
Kenton Keith in the West semifinal versus the Edmonton Eskimos had 125 yards offensively, 97 yards rushing the football. To me, this sets up the best matchup in this football game versus the BC Lions. That's middle linebacker Baron Simpson in the linebacking core, the leader and pure run stopper, versus Kenton Keith. Baron Simpson is a guy who reacts on instincts. Most defensive players have to read and then react. For Baron Simpson, it's instinct, and he's often in the hole as the running back arrives against Kenton Keith, the thrashing type of runner who maybe has the best breakaway speed from the running back position in the Canadian Football League. Jock, it's a great matchup. When you look at Kenton Keith, whether he's running the football or being used in play action, sure helps Henry Burris.
Well, that's exactly right, Glenn. What can Kenton Keith do for Henry Burris? I think a whole lot, because you know what? As well as Henry Burris has been playing, I don't like the matchup Burris against Printer/Dickinson. I think that Burris is going to need some help from his running back, and he'll get that help either running the football or in play action. Now, if you go with play action, don't forget now about your tailback, because he can do some things catching the ball. And this was by far the biggest play of the game last week. He has good hands, and when you have an athlete like that, you need to find ways to put the ball in his hands. He had 3 catches last week. I'd say go and give him more than that this week.
Well, Kenton Keith, but also Corey Holmes has to make an impact in this game, because he has some exceptional acceleration. But my running back that I like is Chris Zarka, because he is the short yardage specialist, and he's the goal line power that you need to consistently play well and produce touchdowns and first downs. And it's been an issue in Saskatchewan, because there's been 2, 3, 4 times where the center to quarterback exchange or the quarterback to fullback exchange has not been very smooth. And one of the things to watch out for is just that fundamental of execution, because if there is a fumble, it's not so much you don't get the points, it's an immense momentum shift to your opponent, Dave. A fumble on the goal line or not getting a first down can determine a game.
Especially the big one you showed right there against Winnipeg. Zarka, a Vancouver native, will no doubt have fans in the stands. They missed him. They missed him for 5 games when he was out with a hamstring injury. Missed him in those goal line situations, but he will be out there today for the West Final, and you can also catch this one on the CFL on CBC. They're on the air at 3:30 Eastern Time as G. Roy Simon and the Lions, in front of 50,000 plus, try to punch their ticket for Ottawa. Time for another break, and when we come back, we're going to introduce you to the Fab Four in Montreal. Welcome back. You know, the last time a team of the CFL had 3 1,000-yard receivers was the 1998 Calgary Stampeders. Alan Pitts, Terry Vaughn, Vince Danielson, they all did it. In fact, it's been done several times. The Stamps did it 5 different seasons in the 90s. However, no team in the history of the league had ever had 4 1,000-yard receivers until now. Cahoon, Copeland, Cavill, and Anderson earlier this week.
We were just going to let them just flounder, weren't we? Just going to sit back and
earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down with Cahoon, Cavill, Anderson, and Copeland. Good job. Here it is, John.
Kwame Cavill, repping Texas, Waco, Texas, 1090, baby.
So I am sitting here with 4 guys.
Barrett Anderson from Grambling State University, 1,147 yards.
Who have made CFL history.
Ben Cahoon, Brigham Young University, 1,183.
4,000-yard receiving seasons.
Jermaine Copeland from the University of Tennessee, holding it down from H-Town, 1,154 yards.
How does that feel?
To tell you the truth, it feels good, man. I mean, it's like a little family in there in our meeting rooms, you know, so we're like all brothers and just clowning around, having a lot of fun. Them boys, 1,000 yards, count it up.
Footwork right here, footwork.
But that game when both Kwame and Thyron needed 1,000 yards and they were just short of it, we knew it was going to happen that game.
Oh, yeah.
That was a celebration. We knew the catch that Kwame got his 1,000, and he was a little dinged up. We went and picked him up and said congratulations. The same thing went for Thyron. I mean, it was special.
And we are watching watching CFL history. Montreal has 4 1,000-yard receivers for the first time.
Now, the way I understand it is that each and every one of you want the ball on each and every play. So how in the world did you share the ball so well through the course of the season?
Well, our leaders, Cope and Cahoon, you know what I'm saying? They are such good guys, you know what I'm saying? Not only on the field, but off the field. And once you have guys like, we have those guys setting the forefront for you, you know what I'm saying? And they're able to take a step back, knowing by them taking a step back, that'll let me and Thyron get our rocks off, so.
Well, something a little different again, and a shake and bake to the end zone.
I'm like a new person to the group, but this is my first year ever starting. But it was like kind of easy for me because I was trying to play on the level that these 3 guys were playing on.
Wow.
But it was real good. It helped me out a lot this whole season, trying to stay on the level they was on. But, you know, I'm glad I got my 1,000 yards.
Touchdown, Montreal! And guess who?
All right, important stuff now. Who is the choreographer? Who coordinates the touchdown dances? Because I know you do a lot of that.
I think they'd be surprised.
You'd actually be surprised that a lot of dances come out of from different areas.
What's the best one ever?
The best dance ever that we've had in the end zone is me and Kwame doing the pop, like with him going through. I don't care what nobody says. That's the best dance.
Nobody gonna be able to do
the
that.
best dance been in CFL history.
You know it.
That is some kind of dance.
What do I do?
You good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got your little clean cut pose, man.
I tell you what, those guys get along. There's no, you know, one-upsmanship. They push each other in practice and in games. But keep in mind here, Sylvain Girard, another receiver on the Alouettes, had 659 yards receiving in just 9 games. They could have had 5 guys with 1,000 yards.
Yeah, Girard has had a remarkable season, and you're right, could very easily have joined them. And you know, Anthony Calvillo obviously is a huge part of their success collectively. And then one of the reasons why is that Anthony Calvillo does this very well. You see how he looks to one side and then come back to the other? This is a difficult skill that not all quarterbacks have. The ability to look one side, now find your receiver all the way on the other side of the field and take advantage of the fact that the defense has now shifted to one side. And, you know, when you have receivers who know what they're doing and are all believing they're going to get the ball because Calvillo has nurtured that, then what you get is no one's ever dogging it backside. If you have 2 guys with 1,000 yards, as Leaf well knows, you have 2 guys with 1,000 yards in the field and 2 guys with 400 yards, and those 400-yard guys on the backside, Leaf, they're not often working very hard. He's got 4 guys out there believing they're getting the ball in every play.
Yeah, they really do, Jock. And the one thing that I think is so tough playing against them defensively you get into a mindset that on every play, any one of these 4 could go over the top. It's such a vertical receiving core. But you know what the beauty is? For Anthony Calvillo, he could have a touchdown drive where he goes 7 for 7. He might not throw the ball over 15 yards, so they can do it in many, many different ways. And I was glad to hear Dave mention Sylvain Girard. He's like the stepchild in this group. He's a great receiver. They have to watch for him tonight, too. And Schultz, why do I get this in the back of my mind? You breakdancing in behind those 4 guys. I don't know.
Hey, Leaf, you will never see that because I can't do it. It's as simple as that. But, you know, receivers in football have become the most excessively confident people there are. If they make a great play, they're going to demonstrate the fact that they made a great play. And whether you like that or dislike it, it really doesn't matter. They produce. But having said that, if I'm an Argonaut defensive back, my attitude in this game is I'm going to separate the body from the ball. And the Argonauts have players who can make impact hits that can create turnovers. I know their confidence is high in Montreal, but you have to understand this Argonaut secondary can compete with them time and time again, play for play. And I think the biggest battle will be those one-on-one, down-the-field moments where it's either the defensive back that makes the play or one of the Montreal receivers. And to me, it's a 50-50 shot. I have a lot of respect for the Argonaut secondary, and I think this will be a close football game because of them.
Excessively confident.
Excessively confident, Dave.
Did you ever
Not
dance?
all receivers, Schultz.
Did you ever dance?
No.
No dancing?
Not
Cahoon
once.
doesn't dance much either. Does he?
No.
Just kind of hands the ball
Cahoon and
over.
I would just shake hands after a touchdown and go back to the bench.
Hey, speaking about going about your business, there's a guy in BC that does it week in, week out. We're going to introduce you to Brent Johnson when we come back. You're watching CFL Countdown.
Everyone,
welcome back. Let's get back to the West Division final matchup right now, and that's the Saskatchewan defensive line. Sure gets a lot of attention with Nate Davis and Scott Schultz up front, but don't forget about Brent Johnson along BC's defensive line, because he was the Lions' outstanding defensive player nominee, and he gets it done week in, week out as well. And as our Farhan Lalji tells us, just like his Saskatchewan counterparts, Johnson's a bit of a character as well.
He is quickly becoming one of the CFL's premier defensive linemen.
Brent Johnson is there again.
Brent Johnson, he's dominating right now off that edge.
He's the best right now.
His motor never stops.
DJ comes off the ball. He's got a tremendous first 2 steps. He's one of the hardest workers you ever see.
But he is not like the rest. For Brent Johnson, a big play is what he expects, and he has no interest in letting the world know what he has just done.
I like, celebrating after a sack, and that once in a while I'll do something, fun and things like that, but there's another play coming.
He is as laid back a football player as you'll ever meet.
When I'm out there, I'm just a total, I'm in love with, the world around me.
Y'all get a different side of him, but I get a totally different side of him. He's not a quiet, shy type guy. That's just the front.
We've come a long way since Frank the Tank, and we don't want him coming back now, do we?
Honey, Frank the Tank is not coming back.
He Tank on old school. That's him all the way.
That was a nickname given to me by Kelly Lockbaum for like one incident that happened.
We're going streaky! Yeah!
I left that behind years ago in college. I don't do that anymore.
Brent Johnson is probably one of the wildest cats in Vancouver.
Johnson may have left his old school days behind him for the most part, but when it comes to his second passion, snowboarding, Brent has a little Frank left in his tank.
I need to get some bindings today.
How long have you been riding for?
14 years.
Okay, long time, old school.
Yeah.
Long time, old school.
Yeah.
Okay, long time, old school. Yeah. You're crazy.
So what's the craziest trick you've ever done? Craziest trick? Yeah. Nothing crazy. I landed a 540 once when I was like, but it was ugly.
Any parallels to snowboarding and football?
Parallels? No, that's why I like it. Kind of being out in the middle of nowhere with your buddies it's kind of a good feeling, and it's a little bit of peace. I'm a pretty laid back guy until you hop on the field or you have to be in a situation where your back's against the wall. But most of the time, yeah, I don't believe in living your life totally stressed out and not enjoying the little things.
Thanks to Farhan and Frank the Tank there. The Saskatchewan Roughriders, Glenn Suter, certainly don't have to go back very far to find some good tape. Where's Glenn? There he is. There's Glenn. They don't have to go back that far to find some good film on Brent Johnson, do they?
Dave, he said he landed a 540, 545, whatever it takes, whatever it will take in this game this afternoon. And I'm going to go back 2 weeks ago to when these two teams played each other, and I'll be interested to watch the psychological warfare between Brent Johnson and Charles Thomas, the tackle for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. In that game, Johnson did a nice job in a sequence of plays going up the field and outside, and then later on in the game started to make inside moves on Charles Thomas. Now, it wasn't all bad for Thomas. He made some plays and did a good job later on, but Brent Johnson may be playing some psychological warfare, Chris, with Charles Thomas, and may have had him guessing a couple of weeks ago. How will that affect him in this one?
Well, Glenn, there's no doubt that he had him guessing. I mean, I've been in that situation where a player's just having an exceptional day competing against you, but all Charles Thomas has to do, Gene Mikowski, is get back to the basics. That great kick slide on the very first step. Head-hand separation, the good cylinder technique throughout the entire play. Get back to what you did during training camp. Remember, both of these tackles have watched this film over and over again. They won't make the same mistakes. This will be a great battle, but I think the two tackles for Saskatchewan will come out with a really good game.
Well, Henry Burris could really do himself a favor and his offense a favor by trying to deal with that pass rush by using his feet. It's an underrated part of Henry Burris's game that he doesn't pull all that often, but nothing deflates a defensive pass rush more than a quarterback who runs, and I think that Henry Burris has that ability. He just needs to tap into it, David.
464 yards rushing, just behind Casey Printers, who was the top rushing quarterback in the CFL. Time for another break on CFL Countdown, and when we come back, we've got to give the Argos receivers equal time here. Show you what they do to break the tension off the field. We'll be right back.
Hey guys,
Come on in. Welcome to the Pocket Studios. My name's Mike Turner. I built this lovely place called the Pocket Studios. Decided to build it after having been an artist with Our Lady Peace for quite a number of years.
This the Pocket Studio?
Okay, as far as I know what's going on tonight, we have Andre Rison and some of his friends coming in. I don't even know what to expect.
Robert Baker, 88, that's 18. RJ Stout, he lace all the music, do all the tracks. We gotta get to work though, we late.
Well, music is my life, and music is R.J. Sauer's life. He's a producer out of California, and a good producer. Robert Baker is an aspiring MC.
Fire me up.
He has his own record label. I have my own record label and film company.
I'm representing TSN, T-Dot, all of it.
And so we just bumped heads together and decided to come together and do a project together.
I like laughter, but death make my brains scatter. Close my eyes to escape, but I'll be caught by disaster. I tell my homie, but his west.
The way you run your routes, the way you catch the ball, what you do after you score a touchdown, it's the same thing as expressing yourself in a song. You're expressing yourself through your body.
And Tim Boots, description of a homie in a black hood suit.
If you hang around with people you play with and go to war with, you know, you guys are going to feel that much closer on the field, and you guys are going to be on the same page.
I'm amazed that they're able to get this type of talent on one team. I feel like we could have a dynasty here for real.
I'm in shape now, so I can stand up literally and say, bring on whoever you want to bring on. You can bring on Terrell, you can bring on Randy, you can bring on Jerry, whoever. Given opportunities with the cast that I have, and we can go make any NFL roster.
Next time you get him bump and run, you get him man up. Sell him like you run around the shoot. Y'all talk that trash down there in Hamilton. Playoff time, baby.
There are champions that were born who were hungry and that learn how to become a champion.
We just have to, you know, put it all together. We just have to play that one game that's going to show everybody, okay, these guys are for real.
It's fire right there. Yeah. That's all, folks.
More excessive confidence, I think.
Excessive confidence, baby.
We saw in Montreal. So they can talk the talk or sing the song, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But today they got to walk the walk.
That is exactly it. I want to talk a little bit about these receivers for the Argos and break them down a little bit. And going to start with Tony Miles, who I feel is the best receiver in this unit. And he really took over the game last year in the Eastern Final, almost won it for his team. He had 6 catches for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. I really like Tony Miles and what he can do. Now, Robert Baker, a 1,000-yard receiver, had some trouble dropping the ball earlier in the season. He seems to have corrected that problem. And then you look at Arlen Bruce. He's a game breaker.
Yes.
And he might be the difference this year because of what he adds to that offense. And you got Palmer and Talbot, good possession receivers.
You know, they are a good group of receivers, but I do believe this game really comes down to Damon Allen and his ability to play well and to have an efficient game. But the thing that you have to remember is Damon Allen is only responsible for one half of the play. If it's a running play, then you hand the ball off to John Avery, and it's his time to shine. If it's a pass play, well, if it's a slightly inaccurate throw, then you have to make it a spectacular catch. If it's a shallow throw, make it a great run. But Damon Allen needs some support from those receivers so he doesn't have to play the perfect game. I think Damon Allen is going to have a good football game, but he needs the support from the other players around him, Dave.
And Leaf?
Well, you know, guys, not to be the bearer of bad news, but talking about Toronto quarterbacks, it hasn't been too rosy in the past 2 Eastern finals, because if you look 2 years ago, 2002, Reggie Slack started the game, but that household name quarterback, Jim Ballard, had to finish. And of course, last year, Damon Allen got hurt and Marcus Brady had to come in, and they just couldn't pull out the victory. So I hope history doesn't repeat itself today, but in fact, if it does, you're going to see Michael Bishop. And I hope he's ready to play, because Dave, throughout the regular season, every 14 times, 1 out of every 14 times he threw the ball, it was to the wrong guys. And Montreal only happens to lead the league with 63 takeovers.
Yeah.
Takeaway could be tough.
Yeah, a lot of picks as well. You're right about that. Marcus Brady, by the way, did a nice job rallying the Argos in last year's Eastern Final. But as you'll see in this tape, the proof is there. The Alouettes have dominated Toronto recently.
the blitz again, and they've got him for a big sack. Up the gut, breaking tackles. The QB heads to the end zone. Touchdown, Montreal. And the Montreal Alouettes are going back to the Grey Cup for the second year in a row.
Words and music. John Mel.
Sounds of the game.
All right, we turned it off for the final time this year, our Sounds of the Year installment. Okay, we just got a couple minutes left. It's prediction time.
Oh, no.
So get your predictions ready. We're going to start, though, in Vancouver. Last week, Glenn Suter predicted a tie, if you remember, and that didn't happen. Oh, look how it predicted. This is perfect. Yeah. This is perfect. On a fence. Nice.
Guys, last time I said I was going to sit on the fence at Commonwealth Stadium. This time I brought visual aids. And this is just for Chris Schultz and Jock Climbing. Listen, all four teams deserve to be at this point in the season in these games. This is too close to call. I'm sitting on the fence again. If there is an advantage in this game, guys, and let me rephrase that. If there is a factor that could come into this one, it may be the crowds. There's going to be over 100,000 people in two stadiums for these finals. And if they get behind their home teams at the right time, then it could be an advantage for the home squad, and I guess that's why they call it home field advantage.
So you've updated from the tie to now an edge, right? So it's not officially, you're not calling BC, but you're giving them an edge by the sounds of it.
And this is because the football players will get all over Suits if he makes a prediction. So football players watching, lay off the poor guy.
All right, Glenn, thank you very much. We got to get shift over to Montreal now, where Leif Pedersen is standing by. And are you on a fence as well there, Leif, or can you give us a definitive prediction?
Well, I can always give you a definitive. No fences around me, but you know, there's absolutely zero logic attached to what I'm going to say right now.
When
because
is there?
On this feel-good kind of Sunday, wouldn't you just like to see Howard Sokolowski and David Cinnamon, the co-owners of the Argonauts, at the Grey Cup, and their president, Keith Pelly? They've done a terrific job. They may not be the best team today, but they're going to Ottawa, and out west, how could I ever go against my Riders? So, guys, enjoy a Toronto-Saskatchewan Grey Cup next Sunday.
All right.
Bold prediction by Leif. I like that. And, yeah, for myself, I'm going to go with some hesitation with Saskatchewan purely because of the magic element. I think they're such a Cinderella story. BC Lions are a fantastic team, but Saskatchewan has something about them. And in Montreal, I don't see Toronto beating the Montreal Alouettes. I just think that the Toronto offense is not going to be able to score enough points, Schultz.
You know, Jock, these type of things is always a battle between my head and my heart. But out west, I'm going to go with my heart, and that's the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think they got an opportunity, but out east, I'm going with my head. I would be very surprised if Montreal didn't come through and play one of their better games, Dave.
I agree with you on that one, only to the point where every bit of logic, football logic, and what we've seen says Montreal. But I've got this nagging suspicion that says, go on the record saying Toronto's going to pull off an upset. They've been able to do it almost in an ugly fashion, and time in, time again. 10 wins, not so bad.
How about the other one?
BC. I can't believe I'm reading prediction after prediction. I got a
Vancouver.
lot of respect for the way the Riders have been playing, but BC's just too good. And a lot of people are picking Saskatchewan, but I'm going BC for that one. Whatever, doesn't matter what we say. Just sit back and enjoy the games, folks. Our next CFL Countdown is coming your way Saturday night, 8 Eastern, the night before the Grey Cup. Will be live in Ottawa all week, actually, starting on Tuesday. Coming up next, Chris Berman and the NFL Countdown. That other league's got some games on today as well. Enjoy the CFL Division Finals. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Jock and Chris and Leaf and Glenn, this is Dave Randolph saying enjoy the day, everybody. You've been watching CFL Countdown on TSN, Canada's football leader.